Welcome to Apex eSports League V8 Supercar Championship. So tonight is our opening round. So round one tonight we have Watkins Glen International GP. We have a good lineup on the grid tonight as well, with a few new drivers to our league, which is great to see. So the drivers will be seeing tonight two races with two qualifying sessions, and they will be also doing a practice session which we'll be heading over to in just a moment. So the session is 15 minutes practice, so the game time is 9 o'clock, weather will be clear. We'll then head off into a 15-minute qualifier at 10, with weather is expected to be light cloud. We have this first race being the sprint race, which is 13 laps. So weather's light cloud and there's no mandatory pit for the drivers. The second session we have qualifying for 15 minutes, and then the main race for tonight, which is worth the big points, 20 laps. Weather is clear and the drivers do have a mandatory pit. So we'll be heading over into the pit lane just shortly as the drivers start to get ready. We'll be heading there in just a moment. So looking at the moment, first one heading out of the pits is Sweatridge. So if you joined us for our race just on Tuesday night, most of these drivers you'll recognise. So Sweatridge is tailing in behind Rapworks Austral there. The drivers were mentioning that in their practice sessions prior that the track temperatures were affecting the tyres and scrubbing them out quite quickly, so we may see them doing a pit stop in the sprint race, despite there no being mandatory pits. Angry, I'll follow in the matching colours there from Sweatridge. Now into the track. A nice roar by Psycho as he cruises past us right there. So the curbs on this track are quite dangerous for the drivers. They do tend to throw the cars directly across the track. So they'll be approaching the corners very cautiously. And it's a little bit wide there by Psycho. Oh, well, we had been out there by Psycho by the look of it. So Aussie Chopper in number 4 forward. Davo Dozer right behind him. Davo's in the pits. So he's had a fairly hefty accident there. Curver in the cash show number 15. And a little bit quick there, a bit of a slide. Looks like he's spun out and head back into the pits. Yes, he's taking a fair bit of damage there, resetting the car. Angry old fella. Scraping the wall there. So Angry was our winner in the GTE on Tuesday. It was Bathurst 24-hour simulated race, a 90-minute endurance race for the drivers. He did come from the back of the field and pitting immediately and then coming to win the race in the wet. So we should see some good driving here by Angry in the V8. Glen in Ford number 10. Nice little bit of slip through the corner there. Going off wide on the track there, not exceeding limits, that's alright. Broad through the corner there, possibly losing the dirt, not quite. The first times are being set. Sweat Ridge with a 141, Wrap Works with a 147. Tidy time there for opening lap for Sweat Ridge. Angry not far behind with a 143. So Curver sporting damage there, but that would just be visual. Oh, you would have reset the car. The Psycho's re-entered the pits again, so must have put it into a wall. Mateo and Aussie Troppers didn't get their opening lap in, so they've just exceeded track limits, so their times haven't been validated. So another lap around for them before we see a time on the board. So tight laps between Sweat Ridge and Glen. Sweat Ridge is now head back into the pits. Oh, and Glen's just spun out. Would there be enough damage for him? Yes, and obviously took damage there, returning the car back to the pits. We'll jump on board and hear the roar of the V8 with Wrap Works. So Wrap Works was our series winner for Porsche Cayman European Cup. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes in the V8 Supercar. We'll get the map up here for him. So it's a couple of technical corners in this track, but mostly are good fast corners and some nice straights, so it's well suited for the V8 Supercar. We'll see how quick he gets along in the straight before getting on those brakes. We're seeing 230 before coming into the sharper corners. little short there. Was exceeding the track limits there for wraps. So this lap won't count for him. Oh, more contact there at the start. Not good for him there. Oh, Dave O'Dozer getting up on two wheels there before making contact with the wall. Yes, he'll return to the pits. We'll find out who was in the green car behind. May have been Sweat Ridge. A bit of slip there from Sweat Ridge. It's Glen in the green car that's had the spin out there. No damage, he's continued with the lap, so he keeps those temperatures in the tyres nice and warm. Ooh, a lot of slip there. Just how grueling this track is on the tyres. It should be quite an interesting race to see tonight. Wall contact again by going there again. May have sustained damage. Yes, he did, so he's returned that back to the pits. Psycho having issues there at the moment. It'd be worth taking that back to the pits and starting again. And it looks like there's possible suspension damage done there, as he did make quite hard contact with that wall there. Quite close with best lap time so far, so with a couple there towards the back, it's only 12 seconds difference between the first 7 so far, so it's quite tight. Up on the top 5 is only 4 seconds difference, so it's going to be a very tight race. Over setting a 152 his opening lap, so see if he's able to improve his time here. Oh, a bit wide back there by Sweat Ridge by the looks. So 141 the time to beat so far. Curver's returning that car back for a fresh one. And still waiting for Aussie and Psycho to set a time. So a couple of exceeding track limits for those guys at the moment, unfortunately. The first two drivers at the moment, Sweat Ridge and Glen, have just set 141.321 and 141.884, so very close between those two guys. All cars showing scratches and panel damage so far, so a very brutal track for the drivers. Nice crack on pop by Sweat Ridge as he passes us there. A little bit broad out in the outside apex. And the drivers need to use every inch of that track right out to the dirt, but the tiniest bit of tyre on that dirt will, under throttle, will just send it straight off into the other side of the track. Nice corner there by Sweatridge. Having to bring it in just a little bit. So over to Angry in the matching team colours. Angry is usually known for bringing a clean car home at the end of the session, but it's good to see some marks on his car tonight. And for those that are joining in and watching, you can use the cheer button as sound effects that you can put over the stream. I won't hear it, but I can see your chats. So I saw yours, Delcy, cheering on Davo. Davo doing well with the 146. So Davo is a new contender to the Apex eSports League series, so it'll be nice to see what he brings to the table for us tonight. Nice corners there coming onto the straight. A very tight top three. We're seeing 141s. So Psycho setting his first lap after exceeding track limits those first few times and a couple of spin outs. Now sitting in the top three. Well done to Psycho. Very tidy time. So yeah, just running off into the kitty litter there by Psycho. He should just, no, he's returned that back to the pits. Wouldn't have sustained any damage, but setting a time as he's done it's not too bad. He should be happy with that time. So practice session's complete for the drivers, so that'll be last laps for them to head round. Aussie not yet setting a time. So we had some brilliant driving by Aussie on Tuesday night in the GTs as well, setting some of the fastest times in the coldest of conditions, so it will be great to see Aussie driving in the V8s tonight. He's brought that back to the pits. A few drivers still out getting in last laps. Looks like Sweatridge has completed his. That's AI possibly driving there. Angry's still pushing it out there. So Sweatridge with the quickest time, a 141.260. So sector times are pretty close in sector 1. It's only 2-second difference between the entire field, so it's quite tidy. Top three drivers all in the 141s, and then only a difference of 9 seconds to the end of the pack, so very close for all drivers. So it'll be interesting to see how they go in qualifying now. So we'll be heading off into the pits for the qualifying. They've got 15 minutes for qualifying. There we get out into the pits, out of the pits first. Davo, one of the first out onto the track. So track temps will have increased now as well. So game time is now 10 o'clock. And then it's clearing up in the weather. Invisible camera just floating there in front of us for a moment. So the driver should notice a little bit more stick to the tyres now than over that practice session. Still slippery for them on their first laps out. Davo cutting the corner on that one a little bit. Glen here tucking in maybe Matteo. Oh, coming close to that wall there. Starting to put the pace on there, just trying to wind that car up across the line here on his hot lap now. Looks like he's the first driver out, so we'll be keeping an eye on him, see what pace he sets. So angry old fella still in the pits at the moment. Oh, here he goes, he's heading off, making some adjustments. Oh, incident there with Sweat Ridge. Yep, he probably has taken damage. You may want to bring that back to the pits, try and quickly get out and warm those tyres back up, but it mustn't be too bad of damage. He's going to limp it through. Oh, a bit blurry there. Over to Matteo. Sure who's tucking in behind there. Maybe Rap. A little wide there by Matteo. Bit of slip by the following car as well. He's going off wide on the straight there. Nicely through the corner there. So first lap set by Glen, 1:41.5. It's a very nice opening time there. We'll possibly see a 1:39, 1:40 for qualifying. Just with that is increased track temperatures and extra grip there. So taking it easy through that corner there. Time Aussie sets here, 1:52 for his opening lap. Still a bit of slip there in the car. Oh, running wide there by Glen. Hasn't invalidated his time though, luckily. Oh, costing him there, spinning out. It is a common corner for the drivers there to be making wall contact or a fair bit of oversteer and spinning out there. It'll be an interesting corner throughout the race there. So Davo currently in second position for qualifying, 1:45 with his opening lap. Nice and close to that wall coming through the corner. Nice speed through the chicane there. Hugging that inside line. Ooh, spinning out there. Unfortunate there for Davo. Not invalidating his time, but probably did sustain some damage there. Yes, definitely some front panel damage there. That's possibly only aero, but that could cost him a second or so in qualifying. Heaps of debris on that corner there, so a lot of tyre wear as they're going through there. So angry of, oh, incident there, looks like Curver may have spun out. Yes, Curver had spun out. Not sure if that was previous visual damage. The angry old fella coming in with his time of 141.8. So very close for the front there. There's someone running off wide on the track there in car number 49. Did you just get in time to see him stack? So angry coming in with the 140, so getting close to expected qualifying times, so it's quite tidy. Taking the lead from Glen there at the moment. So yet to set a time is Psycho and Rapworks. Angry just making slight contact with the wall there. We don't get sector times at the moment, but it's very tight for the first three. 1 second difference. Very wide there by Psycho. Didn't exceed track limits luckily for him there, but it did cost him time. Looks like he's deciding to bring that back into the pits by the look. No, he's going to continue on. Keep those tyres fresh. Only 6 minutes remaining qualifying, so we don't have too many laps to be able to bring the car back in and get it out, get tyres up to temp, and then push it for those hot times. I think that is, yes, with Rap. Best known number 5. Waiting for Rap to set his time. It's alright, if we get some gambling going on the race, that'd be alright. The Sweat Ridge racing with us on Tuesday night in the GTEs was doing an amazing job before having to actually head out and jump out of the race. We didn't get to finish the race, unfortunately. It was great seeing him perform before he did. He was setting fastest time, so that gave the fastest lap away to angry old fella in the end because he had to leave the race, unfortunately. So Rap doing a nice time from 1:43. It's all drivers setting a time, so there's having to dodge the signs there. Bringing that back into the pits. So also some visible damage there for Matteo. These V8 supercars are copping a bashing on this track tonight already. So 8 seconds between the field. That's with a couple of probably not happy laps by those drivers there. Psycho setting a 141 in the practice, so still potential for Psycho to get up towards the top there for possibly get a top 3 position for the race. So midfield, 4th to 7th is only 3 seconds gap, so that's quite tidy. Oh, a little bit of slip there by Curvo, or could have ended quite bad. Hitting that curb on this track is quite terrible. It just completely bounces the car across. And then putting the foot down when they're exiting out and hitting that ripple, it can completely spin out that car. So very technical to get through. And walls all around as well, so we'll possibly be seeing quite a busy pit lane in both races. Over to Davo Dozer 5. Green flag waving there. There must have been someone spinning out. Davo looks to be like he might be bringing it back into the pits. With 2 minutes remaining, so drivers can get a couple of laps in yet. So Psycho drastically improving his time, a 142. Possibly won't see him be able to bring in another tighter time than that with the amount of time that's remaining in qualifying. So Angry still holding out with a 140.6. So almost a whole second between him and the second place. On board with Angry. So Mersey Blues just joined the field, so he'll just make the race. He won't be able to set a time for qualifying, but he will be able to join the field at the back for the race. So it's nice, 10 drivers on the grid. So 260 before getting down to the chicane there. Still 150 through there, very quick corners. Whoa, bit of oversteer there from Angry. It's an engine braking too, and coming into some of these corners can be quite concerning. It can lock up that car and put it into a spin quite quickly. So hopefully some of the drivers, it is custom setups, so they can fully adjust the car, not running the defaults. I know a lot of drivers didn't get too much practice in, so only in that previous session they had the 15 minutes to try and get that car working to just how they like it. The final lap here possibly for Angry. See if he can improve his 140. Get another lap in. Yep, another lap in possibly here for Angry. Yes, he can, but much slower than his best lap there. So qualifying is complete. So the last laps for the drivers. There's still an opportunity for him there to take pole. It took a moment for it to change over there, so watching wraps. So 3-second difference between first and fifth there. So pretty consistent times with the practice, which is good to see, so it will be a very close race between the field. So Raps here having opportunities to draft in across the finish line here. Should help his time. You see if he's improved it. Improved it, didn't move his position. Mateo, angry, won't get another lap in. Mateo finishing up, keeping his position there. The qualifying finished, so we're seeing a top three. Angry Old Fella taking pole position, second Sweatridge 3:103 and Glen 3:50. So quickest time being a 1:40.663, very tidy. So not too bad throughout the field. So we've got Aussie Chopper at 1:47 at the back end of the field. So Mersey Blue has joined, so he'll be sitting at group position number 10 as we head over into the race. Hopefully it does allow him into the session in time. It looked like he did join just in time. So we'll be heading over into the pit lane momentarily. The drivers will have a couple of minutes to adjust settings to the cars, so we'll be waiting for them in a moment. So full grid here, so Angry in first, Sweatridge second, Glen third, Psycho fourth, Rap Work in fifth, Mateo is sixth, Davo Dozer in seventh, Curvers in eighth, Aussie Chopper in ninth. Doesn't look like Mersey Blue did make the field in time. We may see him in the second session. So drivers have readied up. We haven't lost any drivers. Any drivers that don't hit ready will be dropped out, unfortunately. So light's about to go green. And clean getaway so far. Angry pulling quite well ahead of the rest of the pack. Staying out wide. Sorry, it was Sweatridge in the same colour car. Pulling away quite nicely there. Having advantage on the outside of the track there was good possibly being in second position for the qualifying for him. Putting a good distance on second position there already. The rest of the field quite close in there in the middle of the pack there. Oh, contact there between Mateo and looks like who has gone off there? The Rap Works has taken damage. Psycho fallen behind at the back there after a strong qualifying position. So Glen here making a move onto the third position. Passing Curver on the inside there. Curver not giving up the position there, trying to take it back on the straight. Tucking in just behind him there. A little bit of slip there. Costing him possibly half a second through that corner. Curver struggling through the corner there, allowing Glen the opportunity to get away there. Davo pulling in right behind Mateo. First lap down, quite tidy for the first lap so far. We have Psycho has entered the pits. A few drivers wide on the corner there. So wherever he's up, doesn't appear to be any damage. Possibly it started with the wrong tyres. So these four haven't given up on trying to take a position here. Mateo closely with Davo right on his rear there, putting on the pressure. Delays in camera swapping here. The Curver leaving these four here. Sweetridge so far with his opening lap of 1:46, a good time set there, so he's 3 seconds gap on second place. He's done well. But just onto his third lap now, so putting a nice space on the pack. If he can keep this tidy, possibly see him wrapping up the race for this one. Tidy driving there. Angry not wanting to give up that position, trying to make up some time there. The Glen, a 5 second gap between the leaders and another 7 seconds between the rest of the pack behind him, so a nice little comfort zone there for him to try and improve those lap times and try and catch up on the rest of the pack at the front. So Curver, Mateo, Raps and Davo still nice and close. All the action is happening in the midfield here. Yeah, he probably will. Overconfident and being it right at the end. Nothing worse than that. So no one's made a move here yet between Curver, Mateo, Raps and Davo. Davo having a good opportunity here with a 4-car slipstream. If you can get a nice run up behind these cars, you can see him easily take a move and possibly take on 2 cars. Oh, bit of slip there. Wrap closing in here from Mateo. Hopefully we see a move made by one of these guys very soon. So I'm not getting live update for times in the race feed at the moment, so I can't see much in differences. I can't see sector times at the moment, but it is very tight times between that midfield there, so 1:46, 1:47 being their lap times. None of the drivers are wanting to give any bit of distance between them. They're consistently tailing in behind there. Davo appearing to have made wall contact. There is some damage. It doesn't appear to be drastic from it. I don't think he'll have to go head in to get repairs. The cars can take a couple of nicks on the walls before actually causing too much aero damage or suspension damage. Fastest lap of the race so far being a 1:42.861, and that's set by Glen. So he definitely is in the zone there, having that nice little cushion around him between second and fourth. But he is starting to close in on Angry Old Fella. Raps has passed Matteo. Matteo dropping back to 6th place. Curva and Raps close behind. Matteo still trying to gain that position back. The new fastest lap of the race just has gone to Sweat Ridge. So setting a 1:43.9. The slower times than what we're seeing in the qualifying, so the drivers have probably opted out for hard tyres, as they were saying that the soft compounds on this track with the temperatures, I was actually seeing them chew up a set of tyres before the 13 laps in practice. So we will see a few seconds difference in time. It's not a mandatory pit, so the drivers will try and avoid having to pit in for tyres if they can. On board before Sweat Ridge. So that ripple strip there, putting it up onto those two wheels, and he's diving it straight towards that wall just before making contact with the track again, just to bring it back in. Nice pace through the chicane. Keeping it off that ripple there, it'll see them put it straight into a spin if they do nick that inside corner. Bit of slip. So he's keeping consistent with his best lap so far. A nice lap here by our race leader. Coming up to the last corners. Seems beat his time. He did, so currently at 1:43. Beautiful lap there by Sweat Ridge. Some Rap and Curva, still sitting tail end on there. Curva trying to defend that position. Rap definitely looking for an opportunity to try and make a pass here. Going out wide, taking that apex just too soon. Possibly considering making a move there. Didn't get the opportunity. Just pulled out from the slip there. Speedo up for wrap. So it looks like Curver is pulling away a little bit there. Choosing some different lines through that corner there, so that's where we've seen a lot of the spills in practice and qualifying. So a lot of different lines being picked through there. So we may see him try and make a move in the next few corners here. He's climbed back up, put some pressure onto Curver. Curver just getting away that little bit quicker out of the corner. So 7 laps in, so halfway through the race. We haven't seen any drivers heading for a pit change yet, so tyres are holding out for them. Hopefully they do last the remainder of the race for them. Seeing Psycho early in the race heading in for the pits. So, ooh, almost spinning out there by Psycho. They're into the pits again. Doesn't appear like he's had too much damage, but he may have chewed those tyres up after 7 laps. Interesting to see if he is opting to get those tyres. So, camouflage pit crew at the moment. So no, he's getting repairs by the looks of it, so not doing tyres. Not sure what they were fixing there for him. Aussie Chopper getting a position there after Psycho heading into the pits. So all drivers on lap 8, no drivers are a lap down. So currently fastest lap set is 1:42.459, that was by Psycho, just before him heading into the pits as well. So several drivers with 1:42, 1:43, so it's very tight. A bit off track there by Aussie. So Glen's now caught up to Angry Old Fella. So 6-second lead now by Sweat Ridge. So hopefully we haven't jinxed him and said he'll bin it on the last lap. So it'll be, oh, Glen making an inside move on Angry. Angry not giving up that position just yet. Glen's going to have to get in and get hard on the brakes here for the chicane. Tight there. Angry trying to get that front end just in on that apex and try and take the track position from Glen. Angry's not going to let Glen get away just yet. Some beautiful consistent driving by Glen here. And now putting 1 second on Angry, so getting away. Wrap and Curver here, sitting very close as well. Still not giving up their positions, so second between these two guys. Dave O'Doza had to make a pit stop. Possibly in for tyres. By the looks of that, Psycho still in the pits. So, car did not show it, but he must have had significant damage. Angry slipped back to third, and definitely appears that Glen is getting away. So Glen closing the lead now to 5 seconds to Sweat Ridge. A very clean tidy there, so no marks whatsoever. So he's done very well to keep that away from the walls. Angry closing back in on Glen at the moment. Nice line through the corner there. Brings it in just a little bit shorter than Glen's line. See if that catches him up. A little bit of slip, a tiny bit of wall contact perhaps by Angry. Yes, it did cost Angry a couple of seconds there. So Wraps and Curve are starting to separate, so a 2-second gap on Curve now. Mateo has slipped back by another 12 seconds there. 8 seconds. Aussie Chopper in 7th position there. Davo Dozer slipping in behind here at 8th position. So we'll possibly see him climb back up to the midfield there again, hopefully. Fortunately for Psycho, a couple of pit stops has cost him to send to the back of the pack after setting a nice fast lap. Still being the fastest laps, the drivers also received bonus point for the fastest lap of the race as well. So they get qualifying points as well as race position points. The drivers starting to separate in the field, giving a little bit of breathing room. Up on 2 wheels there, almost making wall contact by Davo. Davo is quickly bringing that time gap back in. 3 laps remaining of the race. We haven't jinxed Sweat Ridge yet. He's still keeping clean laps up at the front of the race. Be sure to use the tools at the bottom of the stream. You can cheer on and use other various sound effects. And be sure to follow us on Twitch and also subscribe to us on YouTube. We keep all of our race videos stored over there. And we do have the Facebook page as well, so it's Apex eSports League. And join in for some racing or just follow how these guys are going in the competition. So Psycho making another pit. Significant damage there by Psycho. So he's made hard front contact there, so that'll be an expensive time lost there in the pits. The Psycho, unfortunately, we'll be seeing him. Oh, he's just missed the stop there. We aren't seeing his pit crew, so may not have called in. He's maybe having a pit glitch there, unfortunately for Psycho. Curve and Wraps 2 seconds apart at the moment. So Wraps slowly getting away, so Angry has slipped right back from Glen at the moment. He's now 13 seconds behind the lead. With Glen now only 2 seconds behind Sweat Ridge. So last lap set by Sweat Ridge was a 1:46 and Glen setting a 1:44. So 2 seconds behind him at the moment. So one more lap and that will see Glen sitting right on the tail of Sweat Ridge, so definitely will be putting some pressure on Sweat Ridge for the last lap of the race, coming into lap 13. So we may have jinxed Sweat Ridge. There'll be some pressure on him now. Final lap of the race, and Glen quickly climbing up behind him. So our race leader's putting a good sized gap on the rest of the field, so 15 seconds from third. It's phenomenal driving by these two guys. So Glen now 1.5 seconds behind. If they're consistent with their last laps, we could almost see a very close finish on the final straight. The Glen now 1.3 seconds behind. Definitely putting the pressure on. Oh, costly there for Glen. Almost putting into the wall, but he's still only 1.2 seconds behind. Half a lap to go. No, sorry, last corners. This is it. Have we jinxed Sweat Ridge? Has he been it in the last corner? No, he hasn't. So Sweat Ridge takes first position. Glen with second. Wrap almost catching up to Angry Old Fella. He wasn't too far behind. So Angry Old Fella crossing over in third position. Followed in fourth by Rapworks. Curver in fifth. Psycho has dropped out. He may have been experiencing some tech issues. Matteo coming in at 6th position. Aussie and Davo here competing for 7th position. Oh, contact through the corner there, too wide. Neither giving up any space in the corner. The Aussie not wanting to let Davo get too far away there. They're 35 seconds to finish the lap. It's the last corner. Oh, war contact there by Aussie in the last corner. Davo taking 7th, followed by Aussie Chopper in 8th. It's a beautiful race there, so we didn't jinx Sweat Ridge. He's taken the win there in first position. Glen in second. Angry Old Fella in third. So Rapworks followed in fourth, with Curver in fifth, Matteo in sixth, Davo in seventh, Aussie Chopper in eighth, and Psychogency in ninth. So he didn't drop out, he just retired out, so he still gets race points for not disconnecting there. So disappointing there for Psycho with a few pits, a few time penalties not affecting the race there. So the drivers will be heading off to a quick break as we set up for the next session. So we'll be heading off into a 15-minute qualifier and then into the main race, which is 20 laps. So we will be back very shortly. Welcome back. We're heading off into qualifying now for the second race. We just saw a great race with Sweatridge winning the sprint race for the first round of the Apex eSports League V8 Supercar Championship. So Psycho being our fastest lap of race 1. So we didn't see it, but he did get spun around by someone, he said, at the start of the race. So as I wasn't getting my race feed that I would normally be seeing, could not see what was actually going on, but about to look at it later on. So Psycho disconnecting there. Angry yet to make it out onto the field. David Dozer also setting nice times in the first race. Having a pit cost him the race earlier on. Yeah, so Psycho just disconnecting. We'll be able to reconnect to Davo, letting Aussie Chopper here. No, sorry, it's not Aussie Chopper. Who we got passing him here? First driver, so Glen's exceeded track limits on his opening lap. David now out on his hot lap. Glen hopefully only exceeded the track limits before starting his hot lap, and not in those final corners, as it will have invalidated this lap. See him taking it a little bit easy, maybe bring that car back into the pits and make an adjustment. So Matteo flying past there. Curver now entering the track. Angry old fellow and Aussie Chopper yet to head on out. Rapworks just exceeded track limits, so his time has just been invalidated. So Angry's now headed out onto the field. We're waiting on Aussie to head out there. Sweatridge setting the first time out there, a 1:47. The opening laps was about the same times in the last session. So weather conditions for the qualifying and the race are both clear. So Matteo setting a 1:45.6. Aussie still in the pits. And Davo putting in a second place for 1:46. Drivers were mentioning the softs were taking a beating in that race, so I think many of the drivers will be opting for the hards, definitely for this race. It is mandatory pits, so they will need to make a stop. to being 20 laps. If they can make a set of softs last 10, we could see some nice times. As simulated race time is 12 and 1 o'clock. So 12 for the qualifying and then 1 o'clock for the race. So will be possibly cooler track temperatures. So finishing the race will possibly want to be done on softs. So Sweat Ridge heading into the pits, setting a pole position time of 1:40, a very tidy time. So 5-second difference between second at the moment. Just under 9 minutes remaining of qualifying. Most of the field yet to set a time. So fastest lap being to Sweat Ridge with a 1:40.8. So we've had Mersey Blue join. Psycho's just had the drop out of the session, and so is Mersey, both having issues getting in. Looks like Psycho's trying to get back in. Cover setting a 1:46. Angry about to finish his lap, being almost exceeding track limits there just on the last corner. Taking in second position with a 1:41.9. Nice lap by Angry. So Aussie Chopper now out of the pits. Issues there already for Aussie. Is he just trying to warm them tyres up, or was there a bit of slip? May have been trying out a new setup for the car. He spent a fair bit of time in the track. Oh, terrible by there for Aussie. He'll have to bring that back in and head out for another cold lap. Oh, loose there by Glen on the last corner. Exceeded limits there, so that won't see him set a time. So his next lap possibly be invalidated as well. And seeing him return there. Angry also exceeding track limits just then as well, invalidating his time. So there's some bit of slip there by Rap. Oh, sliding out there, no damage. You can turn that around without any damage. It'd be beneficial for him just to keep the car on there with those warm tyres. He's possibly on hard tyre compound by the look of things there. So Curver's just had his lap time invalidated. So the field at the moment, first to fifth, difference of 5 seconds. Still no sign of Psycho or Mersey Blue. Having technical issues. If they can get in the next couple of minutes, we'll see them on the grid for the race. It looked like Glen was setting a good lap before exceeding the limits. Hopefully we do see Psycho get back in, as he did set the fastest lap of the race from the first race. And it may have been that someone made contact with him at the start of the race that put him out and sent him into the pits. He did also receive a drive-through penalty as he rolled back on the start. So we'll see how Glen sets here. That's brought him up to 6th, so 1:53, not his best time. The car is handling very different for him at the moment. Possibly different tyre compound. But a 140.8 by Split Ridge currently setting him on pole. He's in the pits at the moment. Angry following in there with a 141. Not improving his time there. It's a 9-second difference on that last lap. So into the pits just to make some more adjustments there by Angry. Mateo doing well, third position, 144. So 4 minutes remaining of qualifying. So a few laps can be set yet by the drivers out there with the nice hot tyres. Yes, that's Sweat Ridge there. So just at the moment, we're just trying to get the other drivers back in. Bear with me while I get the other guys to invite. Out to those trying to get in. So left you with a lap of Sweat Ridge. They're still holding pole position in first with a 140.8, a very nice time. To Glen, ooh, contact there by Sweat Ridge, putting him into a spin. That'll be it for him for qualifying. Won't be able to see him get another good hot lap in to try and prove that. Glen so close on taking pole there, only 0.316 of a second off. And he was setting in some consistent fast times over Sweat Ridge in that first race. To Glen, yet an opportunity here to take pole. 44 seconds remaining of qualifying. Aussie yet to set a time. Car appears to be handling a little bit better for him. He was struggling with those first opening laps after spending some time in the pits. He may have made some nice adjustments for him. Just trying to get Mersey Blue into the race at the moment. Qualifying's complete. We haven't seen Psycho get back in. Davo, Dozer and Raps the only one out there. 60 seconds left to try and get another lap in. Whoa, wall contact there. Devastating for Rap on the final corner coming onto the finish line there. That'll be it for qualifying for the drivers here. Just needs to get that across the line or bring it into the pits. Psycho now connecting. The qualifying, so Sweat Ridge taking pole position, Glen closely behind, only 0.316 difference, taking second position there. Angry Oldfella sitting in third, Mateo in fourth, Davo Dozer in fifth, Raps is in sixth, Curver in seventh, eighth for Aussie. So we will be just taking a momentary break as we try and see if we can get these other drivers in. So technical difficulties with the drivers, so they opted for a restart. So we've added an extra lap and the guys will go around and do a formation lap, so we've got a couple extra drivers now. Now Psycho had technical issues, couldn't rejoin. Mersey Blue now in. So the drivers are on a ready screen at the moment, and when the race starts they'll drive around just for one lap to do a formation lap. So they've all hit ready. I'm having issues being able to change race screens, so we will be left with the normal play screen. So hopefully no penalties by drivers. No, one driver not ready. So hopefully these guys do keep it nice and tidy as they head around for their formation lap. Just needing to ensure we've got some the chopper forgetting that it's a formation lap. Unless he has a wrong setup, so he's going to quickly duck around, head into the pits. Well, he's probably may have to serve a penalty. So Curver has dropped out. So he did look like we were missing someone. Oh. He's heading into the pits. And trying to use that 30 seconds. Hopefully he may have had a drive for him, might have jumped the gun. So the race has now started. Oh no, not quite. They are pulling in. Yeah, sorry, lap 1. So he's saying they're on lap 2 already. So Sweatridge will be starting the race now. Single file rolling start. And away we go. Oh, locking up in the corner there at Sweatridge. Aussie just hiding off there, allowing the rest of the pack through. Costing Sweatridge down to 3rd position. Allowing Glen to sneak through. Closely behind is Angry Sweatridge, still not falling. The slip up not costing him too much, still tucking in behind there. Sliding out there by Glen, costing him half a second through the chicane. Angry also going out wide. Rapp and Matteo battling it out for fourth position here. Ratworks making side move, making contact. Maybe some damage there to Matteo. Looks like he's escaped it cleanly, luckily for Matteo. Mersey Blue here, having a move made on him by Psycho. Blocking that position. Psycho looking to get around on the inside on the next corner. Ooh, rear contact to Mersey, pushing him out. Psycho will need to redress that making contact. The fastest lap set by Glen, 1:46.5 for the first lap. The fastest in sector 3, it was Glen of a 40.180. So my race feed is working, so Angry Oldfella has just received the time penalty for exceeding track limits. So not following the slowdown afterwards. So not wanting to let off from Angry Psycho, making that move on Matteo there. Oh, contact there. Oh, and it's disastrous, flying through the air. Destroyed that car. Matteo looked to have escaped that. Very little damage in comparison to Psycho. Previously having a bit of a bump before and putting off Mersey. So Psycho will be into the pits for quite a while to fix there. So Glen currently setting the fastest time in sector 2. Just then beaten by Rapworks. It's a difference of 0.02 of a second. So Glen, our race leader, currently his fastest lap, and looks to be the fastest lap of the race, 1:46.556. So he is creeping away from Angry there, so nearly putting 3 seconds onto him. So he's through that sector there, almost half a second. But currently, fastest lap, Rapworks, setting a 1:43.04. So he's Rap closing in on Angry, putting some pressure on him there as he's setting the fastest lap. Rap also being the fastest in sector 3. So shaving a second off previous drivers. So Psycho now heading into the pits. We'll see him in the pits for quite a while. Angry going wide there, costing him some time for Raps to be able to climb back up to the being able to make a move on Angry. Ooh, some damage there. Looks like Sweat Ridge. Sweat Ridge is put into the wall. I'm not sure if there was some contact there. Oh, contact again, so struggling to keep that car going. So some definite damage there, causing him to spin out on the next corner. He's going to have to limp that back into the pits so he can get that back into the race. The Psycho out of the pits. Didn't spend too much time in there considering. There for such a crash. He was very lucky, must have been mostly the aero damage. So Sweat Ridge definitely having a bit of trouble there, but not showing any visible damage to the car. So definitely some steering issues for him there, so he's heading into the pits now. So Aussie also showing some damage there. Doesn't appear to be affecting the car overly. So Rapson Angry fighting for second position there. Nice line through the corner. Slipping in behind Angry. Heading up to the chicanes. Don't think we'll see him make a move here. Be too risky. A lot of slip through that corner. Very different camber on the track going through there. Different line through there. See him close in on Angry. Less than half a second between the two. Angry going out a little wide there. Rap making an inside move. Didn't get the track position in time for Angry. So slipping behind there. It's Matteo and Davo. Less than a second between them here. Battling it out for fourth position. Mersey Blue closing in on Matteo. Matteo sporting some front aero damage there with the bonnet buckled. So after Psycho's been into the pits, he's just set the fastest sector 1 and fastest sector 2. But definitely the fastest driver out there from what we saw in the last race and in qualifying sessions. Very strong contender, just some bad luck with some spills and having to head into the pits there. Mr. Rap's taken Angry for second. Angry fighting that car to try and push it and get back up behind Rap. Nice trail break there by Rap through the corner. Oh, wall contact there by Angry. Will it affect him? Doesn't appear to be too significant. Slide there by Angry. So there was a lockup coming into that corner prior as well, with a fair bit of tyre debris coming from that, so it's possibly flat spotting. Is struggling with the car at the moment. Significant damage there coming into the front end of that wall. Angry will probably need to see the car into the pits. It's not too significant. He could use that opportunity if he can make his tyres last, use that as his mandatory pit, and then regain some positions later in the race. So David damage with a fair bit of rear left side panel damage. pretty tight times across the field, so 1:43 by several drivers. Oh, close there. Mateo and Mersey Blue battling it out there. Mateo losing that position. Wrap closing in on our race leader Glen. Wrap having some bad luck previously in the last race. So he's closing that gap almost to less than a second now. Get him on the exit speed of that corner there. He could just catch into that slip and be able to gain that extra half a second on him. So Sweat Ridge lap down at the moment, given the blue flag. Fortunate for Sweat Ridge after a beautiful win. Almost ending the race for him on the second last corner. Almost halfway through the race, lap 9. So Psycho just setting fastest sector for sector 1. Mersey Blue just passing Davo Dozer. Mateo definitely struggling there at the moment. It may have a fair bit of damage to the car that's affecting its performance at the moment. It's Mersey Blue heading into the pits there, so Mateo regaining that position. Oh, it's Davo Dozer that's headed into the pits. And the same colours. No fuel. Will there be a tyre change? No, it is just repairs. Fixing some aero there. So Psycho also back in the pits. And most of that damage there may be residual damage from the previous incident. No fuel, no tyres. So he's definitely made contact again. Glen slipping it out there on the just before pit straight. Definitely feeling pressure there by Wrap at the moment. To Wrap 0.4 of a second quicker than Glen in the previous lap. Less than a second behind Glen. Joining us for the stream, be sure to say hello and who you think is going to win the race. The money is on from the last race. Definitely was Sweat Ridge as predicted, but unfortunate for Sweat Ridge this race. So 11 laps remaining. Wrap trying to close that gap in on Glen. Pushing that car as hard as he can. A few slips in some of the corners, isn't that exit? trying to gain as much time as he can. Heading in for his mandatory pit. The opportunity for Glen now, a little bit of pressure taken off him. Try and put that a little bit more time ahead just so that Ron Rapp does head back out. And Glen needs to make his mandatory pit. He may be able to recover that position. Gap for the race leader at the moment, 22 seconds. But depending on what his strategy was at the start, Glen may want to head to the pits now. Quick tyre change. Could seem still be able to get back out on the track before Angry catches up. So Rapp out of the pits. To still, Psycho Agency's sending fastest sector times. Fastest lap is Rapworks currently at 1:43.040. Very quick indeed. The Sweat Ridge gaining ground again after having to head back in and get repairs. Psycho's just received a time penalty for exceeding track limits. Davo Dozer currently in 7th. Looks like he is gaining ground on Aussie Chopper sitting in 6th at the moment. Aussie's showing a fair bit of damage. Handling of the car appears to be okay. The camera catches up. Glen catching up on some back markers now. Blue flag given to Davo Dozer. So an advantage now for Glen with lapping cars. Will we see him head into the pits this lap? He's got 26 seconds currently on Angry in 2nd. It looks like he's struggling a bit there at the moment with those tyres, so he's definitely pushed the tyres to their maximum, I think, at the moment. Not opting the pit. No, another lap there for Glen, trying to increase that lead. Getting the most out of those tyres and try and increase his lead on Angry. Possibly a good decision by Glen. 1:45.3 for his last lap. Angry old fella 1:48 and Rapper 1:53. They're putting more space on, allowing for that pit stop that he must take. Otherwise he will seem disqualified if he doesn't head in, but those tyres definitely will not last an entire race. We'd only be seeing another lap or so worth of those tyres. He's going to be definitely feeling a lot of slip around those corners. If he is running the hards, as the track temperatures start to drop, it's going to be even harder to keep that car under control. Rap at the moment closing in on Angry for second position. Rap significantly quicker on the last lap compared to Angry, so 7 seconds, so we've seen quickly catch up to Angry. Angry did have a good spin out and cause some damage. She may still be sporting it. Fastest lap at the moment, still to Rap, 1:42. Angry allowing him to take that there, so Angry definitely struggling with the car at the moment. So Sweat Ridge currently coming up to Davo Dozer. They are on the same lap, so looking to take that position 7 away from Davo. While these guys battle it out, Gallon's now put his lead to almost 31 seconds. And again, Psycho setting fastest sector times. So Sweat Ridge making a move on the straight there on Davo. Mateo going out wide on that corner. Definitely looks like he may have some suspension damage of some sorts there to the car. Don't believe he has pit just yet. Don't get that on the display. We'll be needing to see Gallon pit very shortly, I assume. You may want to do it quite quickly too, as Rap is starting to quickly close in. Mersey Blue currently in 4th. Oh, we've got Sweat Ridge coming up onto Aussie at the moment. So he's making his way back up the field. Tidy line through the chicane. Inside move, nicely done there by Sweat Ridge. Now taking 6th position. Angry in the pits. Tyre change and some repairs. So Mersey Blue now moves up to 3rd position. Rap closing that gap in on the leader, now only 28 seconds, so just in a half a lap gaining another 2 seconds. Psycho at the moment looks like he's closing in on Davo. All drivers on lap 14, so no longer a lap down. Drivers made a nice move there just before the corner. Drivers just passing Angry in the pits are all gone out. Davo going wide there. Took a different line to allow Psycho through there. Psycho quickly catching up on Aussie Chopper now. After having Sweat Ridge just move back up through the pack, now seeing Psychogency move up through the pack as well. Will Aussie let him through? Same move where Sweat Ridge moved up as well. in that inside fast corner. So Rap currently closing the gap on Glen, 23 seconds, and Glen's still yet to head into those pits. Oh, some heavy braking there by Glen. Oh, no, sorry, who's in front of Rap at the moment? Davo Dozer getting the blue flag. So 2 laps down on the leaders. So Aussie Chopper now getting the blue flag. Good opportunity there for a blue flag moment, not having to give up any time there. It's allowed Raps to move on past. It's Angry back out. Car still showing residual damage, it hasn't updated it. Passing David, looks like David is struggling at the moment. Will we see Angry do what Sweatridge and Psycho have done and quickly climb back up through the pack? Blue flag for Aussie Chopper there. Mersey's made a pit stop. He's just received a pit lane violation. A 10-second penalty to Mersey, that will cost him. Aussie Chopper may have looked like he's taken... Yes, he's had a hit there against the wall. Significant aero damage to the front of that car. So Glen making that pit stop now. So Rap having already pitted, only 20 seconds difference as he entered. We'll see Rap take the lead here. Won't have to have any repairs, will just be the tyres. Rap lapping Psycho, also heading into the pits. Now taking the race lead. Glen's still in the pits. Mateo quickly catching up as well. So re-entering the race in position 2. So 10 seconds behind Raps at the moment. So with the best laps, it's 142.46 for Rap and a 143.5 for Glen. So consistent driving by Rap here, he'll further that gain over Glen now. Oh, slide, disastrous for Glen. Can he get it round in time? That is a back marker that's caught up on him. Not too much damage. Aussie Chopper heading into the pits after taking that damage. Sweatridge did fall back in positions, but quickly covering it back up, just passing Psycho. Sweatridge having to make his way back up through the field yet again. Psycho there having a bit of trouble for that corner. Angry still making his way up through the field, closing in on Matteo at the moment. Inside move. Oh, contact too wide. Matteo give up that position. Let Angry through. That was very tight, rubbing all the way through that corner. It's a wrap. Our race leader currently getting away on second position, now almost 20 seconds. Angry old fella getting sideways through that corner there, pushing that car. The sweat ridge coming up on Dave Odoza. Oh, slide out there. Too quick on the corner exit. Lock up there by Davo. Ridge taking the pass on the inside of the corner there. It's now back up the 6th position. So Mersey Blue currently in 3rd position. 13 seconds for Angry behind him. A minute in front is Glen. I do believe we may be seeing Angry coming up and closing in on him rather quickly. Angry's really pushing that car at the moment. Glen sporting some damage after making his mandatory pit. So he'll possibly be losing some time with that damage. So he's head out for a lap now. So 1:47 he's now set, so 3 seconds difference. The Rap definitely having an advantage here. Just passing Aussie Chopper after him receiving the blue flag. So currently new fastest sector 1 has been given to Sweat Ridge, so at 29.06. That's about a second quicker than previous drivers. Looks like Sweat Ridge behind Rapworks at the moment. The Sweat Ridge trying to make up a lap. We may see him make a move on the race leaders to try and catch up on that lost lap. Is it Sweat Ridge or Angry old fella? It's Angry. Angry. So Angry is a lap down. So it's Angry trying to, making contact. Putting both off there. So Rap getting some pressure from some of the back markers. Rap just deciding to let him through. It's not costing him a position. It's not worth tangling and losing the race from an incident from someone trying to make up a lap. Nice flames there by Angry. Oh, and he's into the pits. Race complete. So a win there by Raps. Glen not being able to make up for that lost time. Beautiful race there by Glen. Mersey Blue currently in third. Quite safe there, 30 seconds difference from fourth. So Mersey will see himself on the podium. Mersey approaching the finish. Okay, in fourth position. 30 seconds of the race remaining. So race done. The Curver missing out on being able to get back onto the race. Hopefully we didn't miss him. If we did, I'm very sorry, Curver. He had lots of issues going with that restart. But beautiful race there by Raps, climbing through the pack there and putting that huge gain on the Glen at the end. So taking the win. Glen finishing in second. Mersey Blue taking podium on third. Fourth Mateo. Fifth Sweat Ridge. Beautiful recovery there. He was doing well at the start and had a couple spills, falling back to the pack and then climbing back through to about that position twice. So beautiful driving there. Angry Old Fella finishing in at 6th, Davo Dozer in at 7th, Psycho in at 8th, Aussie Chopper in at 9th. So fastest lap for the race looks to be in the 142s. It's a multiple 142s. So Psycho yet again taking fastest lap of the race. So bonus points there for Psycho. So just very unfortunate that he couldn't just keep a strong race position through there and get those extra points. He's definitely potential for the quickest out there. But if keeping that consistent would have been great. So I am currently experiencing technical difficulties, so I can't actually bring up our schedule at the moment. But next week, so Thursday, same time, 7:30, drivers are at Rapuna Park GP, so off to New Zealand. So it'll be same setup. Drivers will have a sprint race and a main race. So they have lots of opportunities to get some points there from qualifying, race positions, different points for the main events and the fastest laps as well. So be sure to hit that follow button, see our schedule there. We also have the GTEs in another fortnight as well, but the V8 Supercars is weekly and broadcasted each time. So thanks for joining in with us, guys. We appreciate you watching the race.